You ever open a box and feel a wave of regret so cold it stops your heart? A feeling that tells you that whatever is inside, whatever secret has been locked away, was never, ever meant for you. Welcome back to the Plush Curse. This is episode 5, The Second Owner. August 2022. Brian didn't believe in haunted anything. As a part-time auction buyer, he'd built a career on logic and instinct. He'd seen it all. Old dolls with cracked, milky eyes that seemed to follow you. Music boxes that played off-key lullabies in dead silent rooms. He even bought the contents of a failed mortuary once and sold the embalming table for a tidy profit. The strange and the macabre didn't scare him. They were just inventory. But he had rules. Simple rules he never broke. Rule 1. Never bring anything directly into the house until it's been cleaned and appraised in the garage. Rule 2. Never, ever buy mystery storage units from private sellers off the books. Too many risks. That day, under the oppressive heat of a late summer sun, he broke both. The seller was a woman he met through a desperate online ad. She looked like a ghost herself, pale, thin, with dark, hollowed-out eyes that screamed of sleepless nights. She wanted the entire unit gone now. $200, cash, no bidding, no questions. Her voice was a dry, cracking whisper when she gave him one final, chilling piece of advice. "Don't open the green bin inside," she said, her eyes fixated on something far behind him. "Just burn it, please." Of course, Brian didn't listen. To him, it was just amateur theatrics. A seller trying to create a backstory for a locker full of junk. He saw fear in her eyes, but he registered it as weakness. A mistake he would come to regret. Back at his house, he rolled up his own garage door, the familiar sound echoing in the cavernous space. The contents of the unit were unremarkable old furniture, boxes of kitchenware, dusty clothes. And near the back sat the sealed green plastic bin, wrapped aggressively with silver duct tape. In sloppy red marker, someone had scrawled, "Do not open." "Yeah, right," Brian scoffed, slicing through the tape with his box cutter. Inside, nestled amongst yellowed newspaper, was a child's plush toy. It was fuzzy, worn, with big, black, vacant eyes. It didn't look particularly scary, just old and forgotten. But there was a strange, crudely stitched patch over its heart, thick and lumpy, like someone had performed surgery on it, sewing something deep inside. He tossed it onto a folding table and went back to work. That's when his dog Max, a fearless German shepherd, started barking. It wasn't a normal bark. It was a low, guttural, threatening growl. The kind Max only used when he sensed a real danger. Brian turned, expecting to see a stranger, but Max wasn't looking at the door. He was staring, hackles raised, at the plush toy on the table. That night, Brian's sleep was a fever dream of fire and metal. He dreamt of flames licking the sides of steel storage doors, of muffled screams coming from within. And through the roaring fire, a child's disembodied voice whispered a sequence of numbers over and over again like a broken record. 1, 3, 7, 1, 3, 7. He woke up in a cold sweat. The room was pitch black and silent, but he felt it instantly, the unmistakable sensation of being watched. He reached for his phone, the screen illuminating the room. It was on the floor, at the foot of his bed. The plush bear. Sitting upright, its head tilted, facing him. A wave of ice-cold fear washed over him. He called for his dog. "Max?" Nothing. He found Max hiding in the bathtub, pressed into the corner, whimpering, a sound of pure terror Brian had never heard before. By day 3, Brian's skepticism had completely fractured. He started seeing things in the corner of his eye. Storage doors in his own garage slamming shut when there was no wind. Pockets of intense, unnatural cold that would appear and vanish in seconds. He swore the plush toy moved. He'd place it on a shelf, turn his back for a moment, and when he looked again, its head would be tilted in a new direction. He'd had enough. He grabbed the bear, drove it to the county dump, and threw it into the massive, churning maw of the industrial compactor. He stayed and watched, needing to see it crushed, to see it destroyed and buried under a mountain of garbage. That night, he came home to a garage that smells of refuse and decay. The bear was back, sitting on the center of his workbench. It looked cleaner than before, as if it had shrugged off the filth of the dump, and something new was there. Stitched across its chest in crude red thread were 3 numbers. 137. Desperate to undo his mistake, Brian raced back to the original storage facility, hoping to find the seller, to give the bear back. But the unit was empty, swept clean. The facility manager had no record of the woman. It was as if she and their transaction had never existed. He was alone with it. He took the toy, placed it back inside the now empty Unit 137, slammed the door, put his own lock on it, and drove to the nearest bridge, throwing the key into the dark, rushing water below. 2 weeks of blessed silence passed. He started to feel normal again. And then the email came. A notification from the storage auction website. Storage Unit 137, previously unlisted, sold to a new buyer. Someone else had just opened the door. Thanks for listening. The curse has found its next victim, and the story continues in our final episode.